Today's recipe is for homemade mayonnaise that is low in fat, eggless, cholesterol-free, soy-free and nut-free. It tastes surprisingly like real mayo and perhaps even better. The secret is in the ingredient and in the process to produce a vegan mayo for a fraction of the cost of store-bought mayonnaise. Hi friends, it's been a while since our last video and we're back with some new recipes. I meant to share this mayonnaise recipe about a year ago when we hosted our epic vegan tuna mayonnaise recipe that some of you actually tried and loved. So since then, some of you have emailed us asking for the mayonnaise recipe and whether we could do a soy-free or low-fat version. So you guys put me up to a challenge because most eggless mayonnaise usually call for soy milk or aquafaba, which is the liquid that you get from boiling beans if you're not familiar, and quite a decent amount of oil to get the emulsification to happen. On the other hand, the low-fat or oil-free mayonnaise that I've seen out there usually call for silken tofu, which is again soy-based, or cashews. So since I'm allergic to nuts, cashews are not an option. So after racking my brain over several cups of tea and numerous tests, I finally came up with a recipe that I think tastes like real mayonnaise, if not even better in my humble opinion. It's not completely oil-free, but the amount of oil that you add is totally adjustable, so it's up to you. And the secret is in the ingredient that we're using and the process, which involves a few extra steps, but it's totally worth it if you're looking for a low-fat, soy-free and nut-free mayonnaise. So let's not keep you waiting any longer. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. Dried white beans, cannellini or navy beans are what I'm using in this recipe. So start with 1/3 cup of dried white beans. Cover them with water in a bowl and let them soak for at least 8 hours or overnight. Dried chickpeas will work too, but they will produce a mayonnaise that is slightly beige in color. Drain all the water, then place the soaked beans and 1 cup of fresh water in a blender and process until well blended. Now extract the milk from the beans. Pass the mixture through a cheesecloth or fine mesh sieve and squeeze out as much milk as you can from the pulp. This may take a little time, so be patient. To extract the maximum amount of milk from the beans, you may wash the pulp that is still in the cloth in about 1/2 cup of water. This step is optional though. If you're wondering whether the mayonnaise will taste beany, this is where the next couple of steps are important. Add the peel from about 1/4 of a lemon to the saucepan. Only scrape the yellow part. not the white pith, otherwise the mayonnaise may turn out bitter. Now heat the bean milk on medium temperature while stirring gently. After a while, the mixture will start to thicken. At this stage, stir constantly until it reaches a thick custard consistency. Remove the saucepan from the heat and set aside. Remove the lemon peels and allow the bean custard to cool. While the custard is cooling, squeeze out the juice from the lemon. We will only need a few teaspoons depending on how tangy you like your mayonnaise. Once the custard is completely cooled, place it in a mixing jug with a couple teaspoons of the lemon juice. You may add a little more later if you like it more tangy. Add a quarter teaspoon of sea salt. Indian black salt, also known as kala namak, will add an eggy taste to the mayonnaise. You can find this online or at an Indian grocery store. You may use more sea salt if you can't find this though. Add 2 tablespoons of water and blend these ingredients together first until smooth. I find it easier to use an immersion or hand blender to make this mayonnaise, but a regular blender or a mixer will also work. Now add in a quarter cup of sunflower or vegetable oil and blend again until the mixture is emulsified. You can add as little as 2 tablespoons to start with, but if you do, then reduce the water that you add previously, otherwise the mixture won't emulsify properly. I don't recommend olive oil in this recipe as it leaves a bitter aftertaste, and coconut oil does not produce the right texture when refrigerated. You can taste the mayonnaise and add a little more lemon juice or water to thin it out, and blend again until you get the desired consistency. Place the mayonnaise in a jar and refrigerate for 2 to 3 weeks. Always use a clean utensil when removing the mayonnaise from the jar. This mayo tastes just like the real thing, but don't take my word for it, try it for yourself. And if you do, don't forget to tag us on Instagram or post a photo to our Facebook page. Please subscribe to our channel if you're not already, and enable your notifications so you don't miss our videos. You can also subscribe to our newsletter and we'll send you an email every time we have a new recipe on the blog. Love you all and see you soon for another video. Bye!